There's a story told in Japan about a warrior who fought over 60 duels and didn't lose a single one. When people pressed him for the secret, his answer left them more puzzled than satisfied. Winning had never been his concern, he said. His only interest was the perfection of himself. What does that mean? And what did the ancient samurai understand about mastery that we seem to have entirely lost? In feudal Japan, the greatest swordsmen would spend months, sometimes years, on a single movement before allowing themselves to learn anything beyond it. One cut, one stance. Practiced until it wasn't something they did, it was something they were. The masters held a belief that went deeper than technique. Every skill contains a hidden center, they said, a root from which all true ability grows. Master that root completely, and the rest of the tree follows. They called this Kihon, the foundation beneath the foundation. And here's what made their approach to samurai skill development almost impossible to copy by observation alone. They believed that practicing a fundamental movement with genuinely complete attention does more than condition the body. Each repetition writes something onto the deeper self. The pattern becomes part of who you are. Modern instruction rushes through basics to reach what feels like real material. The samurai saw this as a costly mistake. Excellence isn't assembled from a wide collection of techniques. It's excavated from a deep understanding of a few. 10 fundamentals known so completely they become invisible, automatic, as natural and unconsidered as breathing. Think about the skill you're currently pursuing. Can you perform its most basic elements perfectly, without effort, without thought? Not most of the time, but every single time. Under pressure, when it matters. If you can't, the root hasn't been found yet. A skill without a true root doesn't weaken gradually. It crumbles all at once, usually when you need it most. The samurai teaching says, return to the beginning constantly. Not because you haven't moved forward, but because the beginning contains something that only reveals itself through repetition. A depth invisible the first 100 times. Each return is a new encounter with something ancient and inexhaustible. This is the first secret of samurai mastery. You don't move toward excellence. You move deeper into it. Every samurai story contains a moment that's almost always misread, the moment after the strike lands. In popular imagination, this is when the warrior breathes out, when tension releases. The ancient masters taught the opposite. The moment after the action is the most dangerous and revealing moment of all. They called the principle Zanshin, the lingering spirit. Awareness doesn't end when an action ends. Attention, if it's real, doesn't collapse the moment the main effort is complete. The spirit stays present, watching, ready, because nothing is ever as finished as it appears. Every ending contains a transition, and if you stop paying attention at completion, you miss that transition entirely. In daily life, this shows up in ways that are easy not to notice. You finish writing something and send it before reading it once more. You complete a project and move to the next without sitting with what you learned. You get something right once and consider it done, without the repetitions that would make it permanent. This is Zanshin broken. This is the precise place where good work fails to become excellent work. To walk this path in your own life, rebuild your understanding of what finished means. A task isn't complete when the main work is done. It's complete when you followed all the way through with full attention, looked back with fresh eyes, and prepared for what comes next. This is the second secret of samurai mastery. Excellence doesn't live in the action itself. It lives in the space just after, where most people's awareness has already drifted away. There's a word the samurai use that looks simple until you stay with it long enough. Fudoshin, the immovable mind. It isn't stubbornness. It describes something more like deep water, undisturbed at the bottom regardless of what the weather is doing at the surface. A mind that holds storms without being reorganized by them. Picture a warrior standing before someone more skilled. Fear arrives. Doubt speaks quietly and persuasively. But a warrior with Fudoshin feels all of this and doesn't move. This is not because the feelings aren't real, because the mind has learned not to take its orders from them. This isn't something you're born with. It's built through one specific repetition. The repetition of continuing when everything inside you recommends stopping. The world tests your Fudoshin constantly. Someone questions your work, and uncertainty floods in. Someone else reaches the destination you're walking toward, and comparison starts whispering. You fail at something that mattered, and the voice saying you never had it in you grows louder. You hit an obstacle, and frustration starts making decisions on your behalf. These are the storms, and they reveal exactly how immovable your mind has become. Building Fudoshin means practicing one thing and never stopping. You separate what you feel from what you do. When discouragement arrives, you continue anyway. When criticism lands, you take what's useful and release the rest. When others succeed, you study their path rather than measuring against it. When progress feels invisible, you trust that something is forming beneath the surface. The samurai believed Fudoshin was more decisive than any technique. Two warriors of identical ability would meet, and the one whose mind couldn't be moved would prevail. Not because of superior skill, because of something beneath skill. This is the third secret of samurai mastery. Mastery isn't only a capability you develop, it's a self you become. And that self is shaped in the moments when everything tells you to stop, and you don't. The samurai path to excellence rests on three truths. Return endlessly to the root. Each time you practice the fundamentals with complete attention, something deeper reveals itself. Excellence is found by going further in, not by moving further on. Stay present through completion and beyond. The work isn't finished when the main effort ends. It's finished when you've followed all the way through and prepared for what follows. Build the mind that can't be shaken. Not talent, not technique, but Fudoshin carries you across the distance between where you are and where mastery waits. These principles shaped warriors whose survival depended on how deeply they'd understood them. They'll shape you too, in whatever pursuit matters most. So here's what I'm asking. Choose one of these three secrets and bring it into your practice this week. Just one. Are you returning to your fundamentals with new depth? Are you following through completely with Zanshin? Or are you building your immovable mind by continuing through difficulty? Write it in the comments, name it, and make it real. And if this reached something in you, subscribe for more ancient Japanese warrior philosophy that speaks directly to how excellence is actually built. The path to mastery is already under your feet. Your next step is here. Thank you for watching.